Do you ever feel nervous when you have to speak in English? Do you wish you could understand English better when you listen to movies or conversations? You're not alone. Many beginners feel the same way. Today, we're going to work on improving both your listening and speaking skills at the beginner level. Imagine you're at a cafe, sitting with a friend. The barista asks you, "What would you like to drink?" You want to say, "I'd like a coffee, please," but you're not sure if your pronunciation is right. What do? The first step is to focus on speaking slowly and clearly. Now let's try another situation. You're at a store, and the cashier says, "How can I help you today?" You want to say, "I'm looking for a t-shirt." You might feel nervous, but don't worry. The key is to keep it simple and practice speaking in short sentences. So, how can we make this easier for you? Start by listening to simple conversations. For example, let's pretend there are two people talking. Person 1, "Hi, how are you?" Person 2, "I'm good, thank you. And you?" The words are simple, but the rhythm is important. Practice listening and repeating. Try to sound like the speakers. It's okay if it's not perfect. Just keep practicing. Another example. Person 1, "Can I have a sandwich?" Person 2, "Sure, what kind would you like?" Person 1, "I'd like a chicken sandwich, please." See how the sentences are short and clear. This is the kind of language you want to practice. Listening to these simple dialogues will help you get used to everyday English. Let's do a quick practice together. Imagine you're at a restaurant, and the waiter asks, "What would you like to eat?" Try to answer. Maybe you'll say, "I want pizza." The goal is to build confidence. Don't worry if you make mistakes. Speaking and listening get easier with time, especially when you practice. So let's keep going. Let's continue practicing. Now that we've talked about simple phrases, let's look at some more situations where you can use English. Have you ever had a conversation with someone when you didn't understand everything they said? Don't worry. It happens to everyone. The trick is to focus on the words you do understand, and then ask for clarification if needed. Imagine this. You're at the bus stop, and someone asks, "Excuse me, does this bus go to the city center?" You're not sure if you heard them right, so you ask, "Sorry, could you repeat that?" It's totally okay to ask someone to repeat themselves, especially if you didn't catch all the words. Here's another role play for you. Person 1, "Excuse me, can you help me find the library?" Person 2, "Of course, go straight and turn left at the park. You'll see it on your right." Person 1, "Thank you. So go straight, turn left, and it's on my right." Got it? In this example, notice how person 1 repeats the directions to make sure they understand. This is a great strategy in real conversations. If you're unsure, repeating what you think you heard is a good way to confirm. It also helps you practice your listening skills and confidence in speaking. Now, let's practice a common situation you might encounter when traveling or ordering food. You're at a cafe, and the waiter says, "What would you like to drink today?" You want to order a tea, but you're not sure how to say it. You could say, "I'd like a tea, please." Or if you're unsure about the options, you could ask, "What drinks do you have?" This helps you learn new vocabulary and practice asking for things. Here's a quick tip for improving your listening. Try to listen to conversations in English, like in movies or TV shows. Start with slow, clear conversations. For example, person 1, "Where are you from?" Person 2, "I'm from Canada. And you?" Person 1, "I'm from the United States." Notice how person 1 and person 2 use simple phrases and ask clear questions. Try listening to this type of conversation again and again. The more you hear, the easier it will be to understand. In the next example, Let's practice a different scenario. You're at a store and you want to buy something. The shop assistant asks, "Can I help you find something?" You could say, "Yes, I'm looking for shoes." Or if you want something specific, you could say, "I'm looking for black shoes." It's important to use simple, clear sentences like these when speaking. Here's another helpful role play. Person 1. I'm looking for a gift for my friend. Person 2. What kind of gift do you want? Person 1. Maybe a scarf or a watch. Do you have those? Person 2. Yes, we have many different scarves and watches. Let me show you. Notice how person 1 used simple language like, I'm looking for, and do you have? This is the kind of structure you can use when talking to others. Keep practicing this way, listening to simple conversations and repeating them. You'll notice that the more you practice, the easier it gets to speak and understand English. The next time you hear someone speaking English, try to catch the words you know. If you don't understand everything, that's okay. Just focus on the important parts of the conversation. Ask questions, repeat phrases, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how you'll improve. And remember, practice is key. All right, let's keep going. Now that we've covered basic phrases, let's focus on how you can improve both your listening and speaking skills. When talking about everyday topics, English is all about practicing what you hear and what you say. And the more you do it, the more confident you'll become. Let's start with a simple scenario. You're meeting someone for the first time at a party. It can be a little awkward, right? But don't worry. You can easily start a conversation by asking basic questions. For example, person 1. Hi, my name is John. What's your name? Person 2. Hello, I'm Anna. Nice to meet you. Person 1. Nice to meet you too, Anna. Where are you from? Person 2. I'm from Spain. How about you? Person 1. I'm from the United States. This is a basic, friendly conversation that you can use when meeting new people. Notice how simple the questions and answers are. What's your name? And where are you from? Are two of the most common ways to start a conversation. These kinds of questions will help you improve your listening as you hear how people respond, and you can practice asking them yourself. Now let's try a slightly different situation. You're in a grocery store and you want to ask for help. You might ask the staff member, "Excuse me, where can I find the apples?" Or, "Can you help me find the bread?" These are simple, helpful phrases that will be useful in everyday situations. Here's an example of how this could go. Person 1. Excuse me, do you know where the milk is? Person 2. Yes, it's in the fridge near the back of the store. Person 1. Thank you. In this role play, person 1 is using a simple question to ask for help. When you're practicing speaking, try to use questions like this. They're short, clear, and get straight to the point. But what if you don't understand something? What do you do then? Don't be afraid to ask the person to repeat what they said. For example, person 1. Excuse me, can you say that again? I didn't quite understand. Person 2. Of course, the apples are in the aisle next to the oranges. By asking for repetition, you're giving yourself a chance to understand better. It's okay to ask questions or request clarification, especially when you're just starting to learn. In fact, it shows that you're actively listening and trying to improve. Let's practice another real-life situation. You're on the phone with someone and you need to make an appointment. Here's how it might go. Person 1. Hello, I'd like to make an appointment for next Tuesday. Person 2. Sure, what time works for you? Person 1. How about 2 p.m.? Person 2. Great, we'll see you at 2 p.m. on Tuesday. This is another common situation where you can use simple phrases. I'd like to make an appointment is a useful sentence to practice. It's easy to say and get straight to the point. You can also practice different times of the day, like, how about 10 a.m. or I prefer in the afternoon. Now let's imagine a different scenario. You're in a park and see a friend. You want to ask how they're doing. It might go like this. Person 1. Hey, it's been a while. How are you? Person 2. I'm doing well, thanks. How about you? Person 1. I'm good, just busy with work. This conversation is simple but natural. Asking, how are you, is one of the most common ways to start a conversation. Notice how both speakers are keeping their sentences short and easy to understand. When you practice these small exchanges, you're building your confidence. You can practice asking, how are you, to different people, and use the answers you hear to make your own responses. Let's now take a moment to think about how you might feel when you don't understand everything someone is saying. That's normal. Don't let it stop you. If someone says something you don't understand, it's okay to ask. Person 1. Sorry, could you say that again? Person 2. Sure, I said. The meeting is at 3 p.m. By asking for clarification, you're making sure you get the right information, and this helps you listen more carefully next time. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about practicing and getting better each day. Keep listening to simple conversations and repeating them out loud. The more you hear and speak, the more comfortable you will become using English. Stay confident and keep practicing these phrases and questions. Even if you make mistakes, every step helps you get closer to understanding and speaking English like a pro. Let's continue. Now that we've practiced asking simple questions and understanding common phrases, let's look at how you can use English in everyday situations that happen at work or school. These are places where you'll hear lots of English, and being prepared can help you feel more confident. Imagine you're in a classroom and the teacher asks you a question. You may feel a little nervous, but it's important to keep things simple and stay calm. For example, the teacher asks, "What did you do yesterday?" You can answer in a short sentence like, "I studied English," or "I went to the park." These simple answers are perfect for beginners, and they help you get used to speaking in English. Here's a role play that shows how this could go. Teacher: What did you do over the weekend? Student 1: I visited my family. Teacher: That sounds nice. Did you go anywhere special? Student 1: Yes, we went to the beach. In this example, notice how the student gives a short, clear answer and adds a little more detail when asked. When you speak, try to be as clear as possible and don't worry too much about making mistakes. The important thing is to practice speaking and get comfortable using English in these everyday situations. Now let's move to a situation that happens at work. Imagine you're having a meeting with a colleague and you need to talk about a project. It's important to use clear, simple sentences to explain your thoughts. For example, Person 1: I think the project is going well. What do you think? Person 2: I agree. We're on track, but we still need to finish some tasks. Person 1: Yes, we should focus on finishing the report this week. Notice how Person 1 and Person 2 use simple phrases like "I think" and "we're on track" to express their ideas clearly. This is exactly the kind of language you can use at work or in school. Even if you're just beginning to learn English, start with basic phrases. And as you practice more, you'll start to use more complex sentences. Let's practice another work situation. Suppose you're at a job interview and the interviewer asks, "Why do you want to work with us?" A good answer could be, Person 1: I'm excited about this company because I like the work you do and I want to learn more. Person 2: That's great. We're looking for people who are eager to learn. This is a very simple, positive answer. But it shows that you can still be clear and professional, using basic English. You don't need to worry about using difficult words or long sentences. Just focus on being simple and confident. How about a situation where you're at a store again, but this time you need to ask about the price of something? Here's a good example. Person 1. Excuse me, how much is this shirt? Person 2. It's $20. Person 1. Thank you. Asking about prices is one of the most useful things to practice. Notice how person 1 uses the simple question, how much is this? And then says, thank you after hearing the price. Practice asking about the price of things you see around you, whether in real life or in practice situations. Now let's switch to something a little more personal. Introducing yourself. This might happen when you're meeting someone new, and it's a great way to practice speaking. You can start by saying your name and a little bit about yourself, like where you're from or what you like to do. For example, person 1. Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm from Italy. I love reading books. Person 2. Nice to meet you, Sarah. I'm Jack. I'm from Canada. I enjoy hiking. This is a simple but friendly conversation. Notice how both people share a little bit about themselves, which helps to keep the conversation going. When you introduce yourself, try to keep your sentences short and clear. You can say where you're from, what your hobbies are, or anything else that feels comfortable for you. Remember, in every conversation, it's important to listen carefully. If you don't understand something, you can always ask for clarification, like this. Person 1. Sorry, could you say that again? Person 2. Sure, I said, we need to meet at 10 Chamwas tomorrow. Asking someone to repeat something is a normal part of speaking a new language. It helps you improve your listening skills, and it gives you a chance to practice saying the same words again. Plus, people will appreciate that you're trying to understand them. Another useful phrase to practice is saying, I don't understand. Here's an example. Person 1. Do you know where the post office is? Person 2. Sorry, I don't understand. Can you say that again? Person 1. I'm looking for the post office. It's totally okay to say, I don't understand, when you need help. People will usually be happy to explain things more clearly. As you continue practicing these simple conversations, you'll get better at understanding spoken English and speaking clearly yourself. And remember, every time you make a mistake, it's just a step toward improving. Let's keep going. Now that we've looked at some everyday situations, like meeting new people, asking for directions, and talking about your hobbies, let's focus on how you can improve your speaking and listening skills in situations that might happen when you're traveling or going on vacation. These are also situations where you'll use simple, everyday phrases. Imagine you're at the airport and you need to find your gate. It can be a little overwhelming, especially if the signs are in English. But don't worry, you can always ask for help. Here's how a conversation might go. Person 1. Excuse me, where is gate 5? Person 2. It's down the hall to your left. Person 1. Thank you. This is a very common situation, and the language is simple. Where is the gate? And it's down the hall are easy phrases to understand and use. If you're at an airport, train station, or bus stop, these kinds of phrases will help you get to your destination without any trouble. Now let's look at another situation. You've just arrived at a hotel and need to check in. This is a situation where you might have a little more detail in your conversation, but it's still very simple and easy to practice. Here's an example. Person 1. Guest. Hello, I have a reservation for 2 nights. Person 2. Hotel receptionist. Welcome. Can I have your name, please? Person 1. Yes, my name is Maria Lopez. Person 2. Thank you, Maria. Here is your key. Your room is on the second floor. In this example, person 1 asks a clear question and gives their name, while person 2 gives simple instructions and information. When traveling, being able to ask questions like "Where is my room?" or "What time is breakfast?" can help you feel more comfortable and confident. Let's try a different scenario. You're at a restaurant and you need to order food. This is something that most beginners will do, and it's easy to practice. Here's how the conversation might go. Person 1, customer. Hello, I'd like to order the chicken sandwich, please. Person 2, waiter. Sure, would you like fries with that? Person 1, yes, please. Person 2, great, your order will be ready soon. In this situation, the phrases are simple but useful. You're learning how to order food, which is something you can practice in English-speaking countries, or even at home if you're ordering delivery. Just remember to keep your sentences short, like "I'd like" or "Yes, please," and you'll do great. But what if you're in a situation where you're not sure about something, like a menu item you don't recognize? It's perfectly fine to ask for help. Person 1, customer. Excuse me, what is the special today? Person 2, waiter. Today's special is grilled salmon with vegetables. Person 1, that sounds great. I'll have that. Asking questions like, "What is this?" or "Can you explain this dish?" will help you understand what's going on, especially when you're in a new place or trying new food. People are usually very happy to help explain things, so don't be shy to ask. Next, let's imagine you're taking a taxi or an Uber to get to a different part of the city. It's another great opportunity to practice speaking English. Here's how the conversation might go. Person 1, passenger. Hi, I need to go to the museum, please. Person 2, driver. Sure, which museum? Person 1, the National Museum. Person 2, okay, I know where that is. It'll take about 15 minutes. In this case, asking for directions is really simple. "I need to go to" is a clear and helpful phrase. And giving the driver your destination helps you practice pronunciation and speaking. Whether you're taking a taxi, walking, or using public transport, this is a great example of how simple language can make your day easier. Now let's change the situation a bit. You're at a tourist attraction, like a famous landmark, and you want to ask for information. For example, you might ask a tour guide or someone nearby for more details. Person 1, visitor. Excuse me, how much is the entrance fee? Person 2, tour guide. It's $10 for adults, $5 for children. Person 1, thank you. Asking about prices is something you'll do often when traveling, and you can practice phrases like, "How much is it?" or "What's the price?" These questions are easy to ask and help you gather the information you need. Let's try another situation at a tourist spot. You're taking a group tour, and the guide is speaking in English. You might not catch every word, but you can practice listening for key information. Here's an example of how the guide might speak. Tour guide. This is the famous Tower Bridge, built in 1894. It's one of the most important landmarks in London. Person 1. Wow, that's really interesting. Even if you don't understand everything, listening for important facts, like the year or the name of the place, can help you follow along. If you didn't catch something, don't be afraid to ask. Person 1. Sorry, could you repeat that part about the year? Tour guide. Of course. It was built in 1894. Being able to ask for clarification when you're listening to something important is an important skill. It will help you improve your comprehension and also give you more chances to practice speaking and listening in English. The key takeaway here is that these simple situations, like talking to a waiter, taking a taxi, or asking for directions, are all perfect opportunities for you to practice speaking and listening. The more you practice these types of conversations, the more confident you'll feel. Keep practicing every day, even if it's just a few minutes at a time. The more you use English, the more natural it will feel. Let's continue practicing more real-life situations. We've already worked on some everyday scenarios, like ordering food, taking a taxi, and talking at the airport. Now let's dive into situations where you might need to express yourself more clearly in different environments, like at work, at a doctor's office, or during a phone call. These situations may feel a little more formal, but the key is to keep your sentences simple and clear. At the doctor's office. Let's start with a situation that might feel a bit uncomfortable. Going to the doctor. Whether it's for a routine checkup, or if you're feeling sick, it's good to know what to say. For example, if you have a cough or headache, here's how the conversation might go. Person 1, patient. Hello, doctor. I don't feel well. I have a bad headache. Person 2, doctor. I see. How long have you had the headache? Person 1, it's been 2 days. Person 2, okay, I will check your temperature. In this case, person 1 explains clearly that they have a headache, and person 2, the doctor, asks a simple follow-up question to understand more. When you go to the doctor, it's important to describe how you feel using simple words. Saying, I feel sick, I have a headache, or I have a cough are all good ways to communicate. Here's another situation. You might need to describe your symptoms more. If you have a cold, you could say, Person 1, patient. I have a sore throat and a runny nose. Person 2, doctor. Do you have a fever? Person 1, yes, I do. If you're not sure how to say something, don't be afraid to ask. You could say, how do I say this in English? Or, could you explain that again? The doctor will understand that you're learning and will help you understand better. At work, giving instructions. Next, let's look at a situation that might happen at work. Giving instructions. If you're new at a job or working on a project with someone, you might need to explain what needs to be done. Here's an example of a simple conversation about giving directions to a coworker. Person 1, manager. Can you please finish this report by tomorrow? Person 2, employee. Sure. Do you want me to include the data from last week? Person 1, yes, please. And don't forget to email it to me once you're done. Notice that the language is very direct and clear. Can you please is a polite way to ask someone to do something. And don't forget is a helpful reminder. You don't need to use complicated words at work. Simple, clear phrases are enough. Let's take it a step further and practice a conversation that could happen during a meeting. Imagine you're discussing a team project. Person 1, team leader. We need to discuss our progress on the project. How are we doing? Person 2, a team member. I've finished the research and I'm starting the report now. Person 1, great. Can you send me the draft by Wednesday? In this case, person 1 is asking for a progress update, and person 2 is giving a simple answer about what they have done so far. How are we doing? And can you send me the draft? Are simple ways to check on progress and make requests in a work setting. Phone calls, asking for help. Now let's practice a situation you might find a little tricky, making phone calls. When you need to make a call in English, it's important to know how to ask for what you need politely. Here's a simple phone conversation where person 1 needs help with a problem. Person 1, caller. Hello, this is Anna. I need help with my internet. It's not working. Person 2, customer service. Hello, Anna. I'm sorry to hear that. Can you tell me when it stopped working? Person 1, it stopped working yesterday afternoon. In this example, Person 1 clearly explains the problem. My internet is not working, and provides a little more detail when asked. It stopped working yesterday. When making a phone call, it's good to give information step by step and to be polite. What if you're calling someone about an appointment? Here's another example. Person 1, caller. Hi, I'd like to confirm my appointment for tomorrow at 3:00 p.m. Person 2, receptionist. Let me check. Yes, your appointment is confirmed for tomorrow at 3:00. Person 1, thank you. Let's continue practicing with more everyday situations where you can use English confidently. This time, we'll look at different scenarios that you might encounter during a typical day, including visiting a store, making small talk with a friend, and asking for help in a busy place. These are all great opportunities to practice speaking in real-life situations. At a store, asking for help. Imagine you're at a store and you're looking for a specific item, but you're not sure where it is. Here's how you might ask for help. Visitor. Excuse me, can you help me? I'm looking for a phone charger. Local. Sure, the phone chargers are in aisle 5, next to the electronics section. Visitor. Thank you, I'll go there now. In this example, the visitor asks for help in a polite and clear way, and the local gives simple directions to find the item. If you're ever in a store and can't find something, just asking, "Can you help me?" or "Where can I find item?" is an easy way to get the assistance you need. Small talk with a friend. Small talk is an important skill in English, especially when you meet people casually. It can be a way to start a conversation and make new connections. Here's an example of how small talk might go with a friend. Visitor. Hi, how are you doing? Local. I'm good, thanks. How about you? Visitor. I'm doing great. I just finished a project at work. Local. That's awesome. What project was it? In this short conversation, the visitor and the local exchange polite greetings and share a little about what they've been doing. You can use simple questions like, "How are you?" or "What have you been up to?" to keep the conversation going. If you're talking to a friend, you don't need to worry too much about using perfect English. Just keep it simple and natural. Now let's imagine a slightly longer conversation where the visitor is talking about a recent activity. Visitor. I went hiking last weekend. It was amazing. Local. That sounds fun. Where did you go hiking? Visitor. I went to the mountain near the city. The view was incredible. Local. I love hiking. How long was the trail? Visitor. It was about 4 hours, but it was worth it. I'll definitely go again. This is a great way to practice asking and answering questions. In a friendly, relaxed conversation, you can share experiences and ask follow-up questions to keep the conversation going. Small talk doesn't need to be complicated. Simple questions and answers are enough. Asking for help in a busy place. Imagine you're in a crowded shopping mall or at a train station and you need to ask for help. Here's how you might handle this situation. Visitor. Excuse me, I'm a bit lost. Can you tell me how to get to the nearest train station? Local. Sure, it's just down the street. Go past the cafe and you'll see it on your left. Visitor. Thank you. That's really helpful. In this situation, the visitor asks a simple question and receives clear directions. If you're ever in a busy place and need help, you can say, "Can you help me?" or "Where is place?" This is a great way to practice your speaking and listening skills in a real-world situation. Talking about food preferences when you're at a restaurant or cooking with friends. It's important to be able to talk about your food preferences. For example, you might want to explain what you like or don't like. Here's a short conversation you could practice. Visitor. Hi, can I ask for a vegetarian option, please? Local. Sure. We have a delicious vegetarian pasta. Would you like to try that? Visitor. Yes, that sounds perfect. Thank you. Here, the visitor asks for a vegetarian dish and gets a suggestion. Being able to ask for what you want at a restaurant is an important skill. You can use simple phrases like, I'd like dish. Do you have any vegetarian options? Or, I don't eat food. These phrases help you communicate clearly and politely when ordering food. Let's look at another example, this time when the visitor is cooking with a friend and explaining how they like to cook. Visitor. I love making pasta, but I always add extra garlic for flavor. Local. That sounds delicious. I like my pasta with a little bit of chili. Visitor. That's a good idea. Maybe I'll try that next time. This conversation shows how you can talk about your food preferences and even share ideas with others. Talking about food can also be a great way to bond with people and learn new recipes in English. Making plans for the weekend. Another important conversation you might have is making plans for the weekend. It's a great way to practice speaking in a casual way. Here's how it might go. Visitor. Hey, do you want to do something this weekend? Local. Sure. What do you have in mind? Visitor. How about we go to the park and have a picnic? Local. That sounds great. What should I bring? Visitor. I'll bring sandwiches and drinks. And you can bring a blanket. And that's it for today. I hope you found these conversations helpful and fun. Remember, the more you practice, the more confident you'll become in using English in everyday situations. Whether you're at the store, chatting with friends, or making plans for the weekend. These simple phrases will help you communicate clearly and naturally. Keep practicing, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. They're a part of learning. Thanks for listening, and I look forward to helping you continue improving your English skills. Until next time.